Hi Tristan, on behalf of Burlington Soccer Club, we'd like to welcome you this evening to our Zoom call. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hey,
So
thanks for having me.
with us, we've got the boys and girls U8s to U12s. We've just got just a few members of each of the teams that wanted to reach out. So again, thanks for coming. And then could you just start off by telling us about your soccer journey so far, up to date?
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, guys. I started playing when I was about, I think it was 7. I grew up in Scarborough. I started out as a player, as a striker. I think it was around when I was around 10 years old. I decided to go and be a goalkeeper. Striker wasn't working out for me. And then I was playing for Wexford growing up in their youth system. Played OYSL, stuff like that. And then when I was around 17, I think I went to Sigma. And then from there, I went to university, graduated, came back here, played League One, and then now I'm in CPL.
Perfect. So the OYSL, was that the old version of OPDL?
Yeah, so that was the highest level, the highest youth level. Before,
Perfect.
yeah.
So everyone, guys, if you've got any questions, can you start typing them in the chat, and then we'll just sort of go from there. Did you so when you first signed, what was the? Actually, I'll go for that one first. What was the proudest moment of your soccer career?
It would have to be winning the league this year.
Yeah.
Especially being in a brand new league, something that Canada has been wanting for such a long time, and to be a part of that as in their first year to win it all. So that was probably one of my best achievements.
What would have you ever faced adversity like during your playing career so far? Like you're 26 so far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Growing up, you've had coaches and people like that telling you that you can't get to the next level, stuff like that, saying you don't have that, the technical ability, stuff like that. Always critiquing your game and saying you can't make it here or there. I think that's something you have to overcome if you want to be a professional footballer and be successful in the game. So definitely.
Perfect. So we've got some questions have started popping up. So I'll just unmute the player. So Jeffrey, if you want to unmute yourself and then you can ask your question.
Okay. Hi. How old are you?
26.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So Krish, do you want to? I'll unmute you, Krish. So you should be unmuted. Oh. There you go.
How many hours do you practice every day?
Every day, so it's around, with lifting, stretching out, probably like 3 to 4 hours, and recovery.
What did you do when you were younger? When you were, say, can you remember how many hours you played outside of soccer during like 8s to 12s?
Maybe like 2 hours outside of anything to do with training. Always playing outside my house, stuff like that, on the school grounds, anything. Anytime I had a chance to play, I would play.
Cool. So Alex has said that he's a goalkeeper. Do you want to say hello, Alex, if I unmute you?
Oh yeah, I'm a goalkeeper.
Hey, nice to meet you.
How long have you played in goal for, Alex? Just this season, or did you play for before?
Just the season.
You enjoy it so far?
Yeah.
Cool. Do we chat? Oh, so Louis, where are we, Louis? Do you want to unmute yourself, Louis?
Hi. So, how much years have you been playing soccer like in the Forge League?
Forge League. So this is our second year. So this is the league and the team's second year. So this is my second year as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Kennedy, I've just unmuted, or you can unmute yourself, and then you can ask your question.
Hi, is it intimidating to be a goalkeeper?
Yeah, it is at times. I think you face a different type of pressure being a goalkeeper. It's such an individual position. So the how would I say it? The responsibility that comes with being a goalkeeper, knowing that any mistake that you make is so crucial. So you really have to be focused and locked in as a goalkeeper, and just try and be there for your teammates.
Is scoring a goal, is saving a goal as good as scoring a goal? Or have you ever scored, like when you were younger? Can you remember? But would your teammates value it as much as that? Do you think? Or
Yeah, definitely take pride in saving goals, and when you make those big saves, it really gets you going. I think it has to be the same excitement as scoring a goal. I couldn't tell you though.
have you ever got man of the match?
Yeah, I think like twice this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on to Tegan. Do you want to unmute yourself? There's Tegan. Yeah, there we go.
When did you start playing?
I started playing when I was, I think, 7 or 8, somewhere around there. So I was pretty young.
Cool. So, when you started playing, did you start off in like house league and then move up to a competitive program, or?
Yeah, so I started off in house league. I think it was maybe 2 years, and then I went to rep. But that whole time I was a player. That whole time.
Perfect. And then Maya, do you want to unmute yourself?
What advice would you give to an attacking midfielder to score on a goalie?
To score on a goalie, have composure. Always pick your corners. A lot of players they go for power over placement. And as a player, just as a goalkeeper, the hardest thing to deal with is place or overpower. So just pick your spot and just put it in. Be composed in front of goal for sure.
Perfect. Okay, Alex, would you like to unmute yourself?
Are you gonna play for a big club in your career?
Forge is a big club, Alex. So Alex, Triston now plays professionally for Forge, and they're the highest league it can go in the whole of Canada at the minute. So it's like the EPL in England or the MLS. Because it's just started the league like last year, it's going to hopefully get as big as the MLS one day.
But in your future, are you gonna play for like Barcelona, Man City?
Maybe not that big of a club, but hopefully a big club. There's always another level and always a higher level, so there's always something to aspire to.
Okay.
Thanks for your question, Alex. So, Bennett, would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Who's your soccer idol growing up or right now?
Buffon, Iker Casillas. I always modeled my game after, and goalkeepers I studied growing up. So I would say those two for sure.
Nice. Okay, so it's Kennedy. Do you want to unmute yourself and ask?
Even though the other team needs to get past your entire team to score on you, do you find that you feel responsible when you're scored on?
There's always that sense of what could I have done to make the save. But when you get to a certain level, you realize that it's not always on the goalkeeper. There's a bunch of things that happened before the ball got to me, or things that could have been different. So you try not to put all that pressure on you, but at the same time, you know when you make a mistake and you know it's you. But that's something you have to deal with being a goalkeeper. Tough job.
Tegan, would you like to unmute yourself?
How many teams have you played for?
A lot. 1, 2, maybe like 8, including school. Yeah, probably 8. There's a lot of teams. Yeah, a lot of teams. It's good though. It gives you a lot of experience dealing with other players, so it's good.
Would you say you've got a favorite coach over the years, or would you have to say your current one?
Yeah, I would say Bobby. He helped me grow up as a player and as a man, so I would definitely say Bobby.
Cool. Daniel, have you got a question? You've got your hand up on there.
What is the player you despise the most?
In the world or like on my team?
On your team.
On my team that I despise the most.
Go on, answer that one, Daniel. I think.
Yes, that's a tough question.
We'll say which player do you like the most?
I like Johnny and Dom the best. They're right here, so I had to say it. Right beside
Perfect. Okay, Jeffrey. Do you want to? Where are we, Jeffrey? Do you want to unmute yourself and ask? Oh.
What was your biggest challenge to be getting to like the best soccer player?
Professional. Yeah.
A professional.
Biggest challenge?
Yeah.
I would say overcoming adversity. Having people tell you that you can't get to a certain level, you're not good enough to get to a certain level. So just dealing with adversity. Working on your game is the easy part, but dealing with others putting you down and stuff like that. So I would say adversity.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hudson, do you want to unmute yourself? And then you can ask your question.
How many goals have you got this year?
Have I let in?
No, got. Yeah.
Oh, so he's a goalkeeper, Hudson. So I'll reframe that question. So I'll say how many goals do you think you've saved from going in the goal?
How many saved?
Like vital saves.
A lot, a good amount. For sure.
And Alex, you've got another question. Do you want to unmute yourself? Thanks, Hudson.
What team is the hardest, in your opinion, in the league? Besides Forge.
I guess I would have to say Calgary. They gave us the most trouble this year, and they were the other good team this year. So I would say Calgary.
Perfect. And Krish? So do you want to unmute yourself, Krish?
What else do you do other than soccer to pass time?
Work out. Like do lifting and stuff like that. Hang out with friends. Video games, normal stuff. Read. Anything to keep busy.
Cool. Tegan, do you want to unmute yourself? You there, Tegan?
When is your birthday?
September 8th.
That's just a few months ago. Away, sorry. So Kennedy, do you want to ask?
What is your favorite thing about your team?
Favorite thing about my team? We're like family. We're really close together. A lot of us grew up playing with on the same team. So we're a really close-knitted team, and it really feels like a family there. So I think that'd be my favorite part of our team.
So what made you become a goalkeeper? So you became a goalkeeper at 10, was it? What made you do that?
I was a striker, like I said, I was a player, and it just wasn't working out for me. I don't think that was my best position. I remember there was a time where I went 2 years without even scoring a goal, and I was a striker. So I said something has to change there.
Try patch.
Yeah, so I guess I put on the gloves, tried it, and yeah, it worked out for me.
Would you say it helped you being a striker prior? Would you say that helped you being in goal because you knew the mentality of a striker?
Yeah, and I think, for sure, especially at an early age, you gain that advantage, switching from a striker to a goalkeeper. So, but even now, we focus a lot as a goalkeeper. You focus a lot on your feet, being a player, understanding the game. So the position has evolved a lot.
We do actually struggle for goalkeepers throughout the development program in the club, so it's good to have yourself on to hopefully when we get back and we'll have about 100 goalies.
Yeah, definitely try. Definitely try. It's fun. It's fun.
Good. Kennedy, do you want to unmute yourself and ask a question?
What is the best thing for you about playing at this level?
The competition. Just knowing that you have to go out there every day, whether it's at training or games, and give it your all, knowing that you're not only worrying about your opponent, but your teammates as well, that that are in the same position and want the same thing to you, which is to play. So just after being a competitive person, you always strive and want to be at this level.
What so Alex has got a question. Actually, Alex, do you want to unmute yourself?
Which team do you respect the most?
In the world?
Yeah.
My favorite team's Arsenal.
Alex's dad's a big Arsenal fan.
Oh yeah.
He's brainwashed Alex.
We're Spurs fans.
Oh, Spurs, that was it. I knew I'd seen the jersey.
Yeah, you've got to be a Spurs fan. Careful.
Oh no.
Declan, do you want to unmute yourself, Declan? So Declan's actually one of our coaches.
Yeah, Kai's a bit shy to ask here. Hey Tristan, thanks for doing this.
Hey, no
question. On penalties, how would you prep as a goalkeeper for penalties? And do you have access to video coverage?
Yes.
At that level, right?
Yeah, we do a lot of video.
Okay.
In general, as a team,
Yeah.
we usually take the goalkeepers aside and study penalties. Guys that would take the penalties where they would go watch every single time they take a penalty. So and they are, So we always do video on a penalty takers for sure.
And are you set to knowing whatever guy that goes, he has a tendency to go to one side. Are you set to go that way, or do you see something last minute that you might dive the other way?
Usually, I always go the side that they would go.
Right.
Last year, I thought I had a hunch in one game.
Right.
I went the opposite way of what I knew he would go, and he still went there, so I didn't save it. I usually just go the side that I know they'd go.
Right. Thanks.
No problem.
Perfect. Nyah Davies, would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question?
At our club, they have goalkeeper training, and it's at the same time as my team practice. So what would you think would be more important to go to?
I would say try and share the time. At maybe some days go to goalkeeper training and some days go to player training. Because like I said, you have to have both. Being a modern day goalkeeper, you have to have feet, understand the game as a player, and then also have hands and reaction as a goalkeeper. So you have to have a bit of both. So I would say definitely try and share the time.
Perfect. So Liam, do you want to unmute yourself?
How do you work on free kicks?
A lot about free kicks is being patient. A lot of times you see goalkeepers, they stand to the other side of the wall where they set the wall, and they tend to assume the ball's going over the wall and the ball goes to the same side. So it's just about being patient, watching the ball come over the wall, and just reacting that way. But I would say being patient. That's one of the keys for free kicks.
Sure. Did you play multiple sports growing up, or did you just play soccer?
Yeah. In high school and elementary school, I played volleyball, ran track and field, cross country, basketball, even played badminton. Yeah, so I've done a lot.
That's a good game, badminton.
Yeah, I love it.
It's underrated, that, and table tennis.
Even during warm-ups and stuff, we play badminton right now as a goalkeeper, working on your feet. It all incorporates into.
Would you say that they, a lot of them, would you say that they helped growing up, playing multi-sports? Did it have, were a lot of the skills transferable?
Yeah, definitely. It works on, you just learn how to play different sports and accustom your body to certain movements. And that all plays into being, a goalkeeper or an athlete in general. Just understanding and appreciating different sports.
Cool. So, Louis, do you want to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Which team do you most despise?
In the league?
A lot of hatred in this room, isn't
there? That would be Calgary too.
Nice.
Yeah, we don't really like them.
Why do you dislike them? Because of the rivalry sort of thing, or?
Yeah, rivalry. We ended up playing them 9 times last year.
Oof.
And yeah, one game was a little bit of a scuffle, so yeah, we never really liked them. So.
Perfect. And what advice would you give to the players in lockdown now, just to help keep them focused and keep them tuned in with soccer?
I would say definitely just staying active, working on little things, trying to dribble the ball with your feet, like both feet, passing with both feet. Just doing the little things, getting back to basics. Because when you get back, the basics are what you're going to have to start with. So I definitely say staying active, just working on the basics as much as you can.
Perfect. What I've just got Alex. Do you want to unmute yourself and ask your question? Oh, I think Alex, you there? Or should we move on to the next? So I'll move on to Tegan's question. So, Alex, you with us?
I might see a Forge game.
Nice. When's the season starting back up, Triston? Do you know, or are they wiped out for this year?
We're not sure yet. They're hoping to start the season maybe in August or September, but it would be a tournament style. It wouldn't be a complete season, obviously. But yeah, they're hopefully not canceling. The plan is to get us playing somehow.
Perfect. So hopefully we can all go to a game. What was Tegan? Do you want to ask your question?
What was the easiest team to play against this year?
There's no real easy teams to play against, so it's tough to say. Every team has their own qualities that make the game harder or make the game different. So you have to be locked in and focus every game. So I wouldn't say there was an easy game at all.
At what age did you know that you were going to be like a footballer or soccer player? Sorry.
I think when I was young, around 10, 12, I always wanted to. My first goal was to go to university in the States and get a soccer scholarship, and the second was to become a professional footballer. So I think it was just about setting goals and reaching one every time. So I think at that age, around 10 or 12, I wanted to be one.
And what age did you sign your professional contract? Was it Sigma? So Sigma's League One, is it?
Yeah, but that's semi-pro. So I was late. It was actually 24. Yeah.
That's good. So that's because there's a lot of late developers. Like, I don't know if you're one of them, but there's a lot of late developers, and that's why, like, back in the UK now, they've opened it up to the U23 league. They're sort of missing a track from, like, they get released. There used to be 16 used to get released, and then that was it. And then they sort of made it to 18 with YTs, and then they've gone to U21 and U23, which certainly helps.
Yeah, I think that's important because there's a lot of guys that peak early, and those are the guys you don't see playing anymore. And then you have the late bloomers that like myself that weren't on the national team, weren't on the provincial team. But when I got to the collegiate level, I went to one of the top schools in America in soccer. And then, like I said, ended up here. So there's a lot of late bloomers. It takes time sometimes to reach the level that you want to be at. So I think never give up and just keep pushing through.
What would you say the main difference is from like the America? Do you like playing in America in college to playing now?
Like difference between American football and Canadian?
Like soccer, yeah, the style of soccer there and the style of soccer like now that you're playing.
So there's a lot. It's based a lot off athleticism. They love big, strong guys that just run all day, just straight athletes. But then coming from Sigma, where we play a different style of football, it's a lot of keeping the ball on the ground, like playing Barcelona style, keeping the ball on the ground, movement. So it was a different style of play once I went over there. It's not as technical as we try and be here, especially at Sigma. So it's a different style of play.
Perfect. And Tegan, do you want to ask a question? I think this will be and then if anybody else has a question, if you pop it in there quickly, because we're running out of time now.
Where do you live?
So what area do you live?
I live in Toronto.
Nice. How long's the commute each day? Do you drive or do you get the GO train to work?
No, so like during the season we have a home in Hamilton. We live in Hamilton on Lock Street, but like I'm from Toronto. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so has anybody got any last questions? I'll let you pop them in there quickly.
I have a question.
Oh, go on then, Louis.
do you have a house next to the forge field?
No, I think it's about 15 minutes away. It's close.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, and Bennett, do you want to unmute yourself?
What was your dream team to play for when you were a kid?
Good question, Bennett.
Arsenal. I was a big Arsenal fan growing up. Thierry Henry was my favorite player. So I always wanted to play for Arsenal. That was always the dream.
Perfect. So what would be the final sort of piece of advice that you'd leave us on?
I would say just love the game. Have a strong love for the game, because you're gonna face a lot of obstacles growing up and developing. Once you have the love for the game, you always push through, and just make sure you set goals and try and reach them every year, and just get better and really listen to your coaches, stuff like that. Work on your development. Just be open-minded, and you'll get to where you want to be.
Perfect. Thank you very much. We just had one more question pop through. Tegan, do you want to just unmute yourself and ask your last question?
Are you ever embarrassed when you lose in front of people?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. But it's a part of being an athlete, being on a team. So you learn to deal with it, and just work on things that you did wrong and try and better them in the next game or next training session.
Well, that's been that's some great questions there, guys. So I'd say on behalf of the Bayhawks, Triston, thank you very much for coming on. We've thoroughly enjoyed your time there. So you can unmute yourself, guys, and say thank you to Triston.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys. All the best.
Thank
See you later, guys. Thank you very much, Triston.